Stampers, Deb Valder here. Welcome back to my studio. I hope you're ready to do some Christmas cards because we've got some beautiful ones for you today. Super simple, very easy, using a few new items in our shop. I'm going to be using this little Jingle Bell set, and I'm going to be using this really absolutely gorgeous stamp set. It's on special. It's only $10 now in the shop, so head on over there. We're also going to be debuting some of our beautiful sparkle paper. It comes in all colors. We have reds, we have greens, we have blacks, we have our traditional gold, we have silver, we have pinks, green. Oh, they're just all beautiful. But today we're going to debut the gold sparkle paper. And a couple of other things. We have our new embossing pad with this awesome re-inker. So let me just show you how to re-ink this new pad that we have. All right. So this is actually the re-inker right here. And instead of chewing up your pad, it's got a little roller wheel on it. How unique and cool is that? All right. So we are just going to ink this up with our little re-inker. And you see how it just automatically spreads it into your pad? I love it. Watch for some more new things just like this coming your way. All right, so that's going to be our embossing pad. We're going to be using some gold detailed embossing powder that we also have in the shop. It is absolutely a must when you're doing very detailed pieces like this one. All right, we've got a lot of little pieces in here. You want to make sure that they are like just very detailed, and you're going to get that with the detailed gold embossing powder. All right, this is a second card that I did. I'm not going to show you how to do this one today, but it's just really very pretty. I did it with the red sparkle paper, used the Jingle all the way, and it was just really easy, fast, and fun. So let's get started. This is the card that we're going to work on today. Let's get out our piece of cardstock right here. And we're going to first emboss it. So I've got the Jingle all the way here, and I'm going to grab my embossing pad. Now you know how I already inked it up. You want to make sure that you do that because you want to have a nice juicy pad when you're getting ready to put your embossing powder on. So I'm just going to take and add that to it. And I want to put the Jingle up all the way to the top. I'll put the measurements out on my blog so that you know what measurements I have here. And I'm just going to stamp that one down. I'm going to grab my scrap paper right here and my embossing powder. I'm also going to be using my new little, I call it the shovel, but it actually helps position some of the embossing powder right where you want it to go. I love it. It's got two different sizes. I bought this because I use it with our Lindy's Gang. So any of you that have bought the Lindy's Gang from us, you might want to get one of these. I call it the shovel. It has the pointed end on this one, and this one's got like a little spoon kind of thing, but it really works very, very well. All right, so I'm just going to take and add a little bit more right here, making sure I've got good coverage everywhere. There. I think that's pretty good. All right, now we'll take our embossing gun. All right, my favorite heat gun. Whoops, I just missed the tray here. We'll get that later. All right, so my favorite heat gun, as I was telling you, is the Wagner. I used this one a very, very long time ago. I love it because it doesn't have the end on it. I know you have to be very super careful, but it just heats so much nicer than the ones with the caps on the top. So that's just my little announcement for today. I love my heat gun. Okay. And do you see the fine detail in there? Oh, all of the, it's not chunky. So when you go to heat it, everything comes up just absolutely gorgeous. Now I wanted to show you how the paper just kind of wrinkled a little bit. It's not a lot because this is our marshmallow fluff paper. But if you have paper that wrinkles, I just wanted to show you that you can heat it from underneath and it'll flatten right out. Isn't that cool? Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to cut out our little bells. So I'm going to just take a piece of scrap paper, but what I do when I do scrap paper is I actually cut it for a size that I'm going to use on another project. So this one right here, I'm going to use this. I don't want to waste all of this on the inside, so I'm literally going to take and cut my bells out from the inside of this, but this is the way it's going to layer. I have another project going that I'm going to use this on, so I just want to take this. I want to make sure that I put my jingle bells right there in the middle of it. You'll notice that with our newer dies, or the dies that I'm using now, that they come attached to each other, and you've heard me say this before. I don't like to cut them apart because you want to be able to do them all at once without them flying all over. So if I did each one of these individually, then I would have them, I'd have to put them down, I'd have to make sure they all stayed in there, but this right here works so good for me. And then, like I said, when I have that white piece of paper, I'll put it over the top of it like that, and you'll never see the holes. All right, so let's head on over to the Vagabond. And run this little guy through. All right, you want to make sure that your edges are not, this isn't right up to your edges, so that we can use it for the frame. All right, and just run it through. There we go. There's our little bells. Okay, I'm going to actually take and run another one through. I have 2 of these cards that I want to make, and they're so pretty. Same size, same card. I work smarter, not harder. Okay, there's the other one. And then what I do with the extra ones, whoop, come back. All right, and then what I do with the extra ones, now what I do here is I just pop that little guy out. Pop that little guy out, and this one comes right out like that. This paper is like nothing you've ever seen before. It's shiny, it's glimmery, but the cool part about it is it's not rough, and it's just, it feels like cardstock instead of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, when people see it, all they want to do is just touch it because it's so soft. It's really cool paper. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So here we have this cut out. And then look, you can take and put that right over the top of it, and voila, you never see what's underneath there. All right, it's kind of like one of those famous Mona Lisa paintings or whatever, you know, where you never know what's going to be on the underneath part of it. So I'm just going to do the same thing to this one. I'm just going to, what I like to do with this one is to just take the little antennas out, and you can make your bells any color. We have silver bells, we have, you know, silver paper, so you could do silver bells, but for this one I wanted to do it all in the gold. It just is such a pretty card. Oops. And then the other ones, I'm just going to put in my little bag and save them because I can. See, just like that. All right, so they're going to go in there. Those are my extra ones. Here is paper for my next project. That's going to go over there. So now what do we have left to do? We have these little strips. Now remember, I never waste any of this paper. So what I'm going to show you next is how to just use, again, maximize your cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to this. Instead of wasting all of this gold paper behind here, I'm going to take and I'm just going to use little strips of it. So the way I do that is to take our white foam tape. Now we have white and black in the shop, and I use this all the time. I love it. You can use your foam squares if you want to, but this one gives it just a nice even pressure to it, or when you put it on your card, it's just nice and even. There's no little dips in it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start this right here at the top and work my way down. If you want to go up just a little bit, you can do that and then just trim it off. But for this one, it's nice and straight. So I'm just going to start it nice and even, and then just take my white foam tape. Now this is going to be a double whammy because once I get my foam tape on there, it's already set to put on my card. Okay. So all I'm doing is taking and butting up this little piece right here to the card layer, and we're good to go. All right, so then I'm just gonna make it go up just a little bit and grab my scissors. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is just to cut off this little piece right here. Okay, making sure that I have this one all the way over to the end, just like that. Beauty, miss. Now we're going to take this one, turn it over, and do the exact same thing. Okay, just take this, take our foam tape. Like I said, you can use your foam squares if you'd like, but I just like, and just make sure that that piece is butted all the way up to the end. We're going to take our scissors and just cut that off. There we go. And then just trim this little piece off here at the end. And we have this. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with this one is just put some foam in the middle so that it doesn't bow in. Okay. There we go. All right. The next thing that we're going to do, now we've already got, this is really important. We've already got a lot of dimension right up here. So we don't want a lot of dimension with our bells. We want some, but not a lot. So how do we work with that? We take our thin foam squares. All right, these are our thin ones. See, there's the big ones, there's the little ones. I think I'll use a big one on the big guy right here. Okay, so I've got a small, a medium, and a large. I'm going to take on the big one, I'm just going to take and put a big one. On the medium one and the small one, I'm going to take and put a small one. That's all you really need, is just a couple small ones here. And then on this one right here, yeah, do two also. 1 and 2. But what this does, people always ask me, well, I don't need thin ones. Yes, you do. If I had too many layers of foam squares, you're going to have double the pops. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to need to put more, you're going to end up needing more tape, or I'm sorry, more postage for your card to go through the mail. All right. So now where I'm going to add these, okay, there's a little thing that's hanging off there. This is the big one. I'm going to take and I'm going to put that one on that. So it looks like it's just hanging to that. And then the medium-sized one, oh, I got 2 medium ones, I think. Let me go grab my, okay, here's my small one. I'm just going to take these foam squares right off of here and put them on my small one. So I have a small, medium, and large. Mama, Papa, and Baby. All right, so the next one, I'm just going to take, so it looks like it's kind of dangling off of this little guy right here. Make sure you pull out the inside right there. So that medium-sized one is right there. And then the wee little baby one is going to be right here in the middle. Whoops, make sure that's out of there. And that one's going to dangle right from here. All right, so now we have that part. The only thing left to do is add it to our card base, and we're done. So we're just going to grab off the foam. See how much easier this is? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, snap. So you can make these just so fast. And then here is your Jingle Bell card. Isn't that beautiful? Remember I did this one here in the red with the little jingle all the way. Just so very pretty. 2 very simple cards to do. You can blast these out in no time. Make sure you're getting your Christmas cards done now. If you have any questions, you can ask Vicki and I anything that you want. You take care, have a great day, and thank you for stopping by. Merry Christmas.